When we look at the elections compared with previous elections, a lot of you have mentioned that they were largely peaceful. There was an absence of physical conflict. And I think also being a woman myself and women's participation in elections is a big priority for the EU around the world, just as participation of youth and people with disabilities is something we generally promote. We also noticed this absence of physical violence targeting women and an absence of SGBV, which we were extremely pleased to note. But in the online space, there was a lot of harassment and verbal insults and strong language used, both among different candidates, but a lot of it was really targeting female candidates and their supporters. So this is something that we believe that Kenya should try to address, and it's also something that's included in the priority recommendations from the EU election observation mission. There's a recommendation for IEBC to implement improvements in election technology based on regular audits and stakeholder consultations and to improve consistency and transparency. So what this means is that the report recognized that there were some KIMS issues, but largely also comparing with how voter authentication machines are performing in other elections. They are not major issues. But what is probably missing a little bit more is some better discussions and understanding of how this all works. Although there was some infographics, but I think also much earlier, so people know this and are comfortable. The testing happened very, very late of the systems, and maybe some of the issues could have been improved if the testing had happened earlier. There are a couple of other recommendations on strengthening the definitions of hate speech, for instance, which is something that NCIC is aware, but there are also some other measures where there are some provisions in some other acts that are actually quite restrictive. That means that this could actually have an impact on the freedom of speech. So there's a whole area around hate speech, misinformation, disinformation, where there's a need for further discussions and bringing some of the legal definitions more in line with international standards.
I must say that we have moved very far, very positively, in the way we do our elections. And all of you, from what I heard, are avid readers, if you thought about where we've come from, just pre-1992 to now, there's a time when Parliament was part of the executive, part of the office of the President, not long ago, where the Speaker was decided by the President, the Clerk of the Assembly was decided by the President, our salaries came from the office of the President. That's not long ago. But now Parliament decides everything else by itself. We got the biggest budget. I was joking the other day that I was telling the Speaker yesterday that I hope no MP travels to Qatar. Because our budget for sports is bigger than the budget for our ambassadors. And our core business is not to play football. So that is how far we've come. As you know, where Parliament was part of the executive, it was a time where Parliament now is too powerful, can do things that, without caring whether the things they are doing are in public interest. The judiciary. I think in that front we've moved very far. I only have two quarrels with it, which I would want to put to you. Fear of corruption creeping back, especially on election matters, is there. There are a lot of fears about corruption playing a role, and this sometimes is very open gossip about which judge got what in which case. From the High Court to the Supreme Court, you'll be told so-and-so received this, so-and-so received this. I want to request you, because you're scholars, you guys can write about anything on earth. Think about some of these things. These are not lies. Kowi here will tell you, because he deals with petitions. You'll be told how which judge was given this where, to determine a case one way or the other. Yet, personally, I can tell you that the judiciary stands in a very good state to midwife our democracy, and they have done so. So if there are areas where we can help bring openness, cleanliness in judiciary, it will be so important.
I think as judiciary, as I said, we are an open book. The issue of integrity is not so much really a worry to us, because basically we are within the laws, we are following the laws, we understand the issue of ethics, we have our ethics which we follow. If, for instance, there is one or two, then I think those are isolated cases. But as far as the judiciary is concerned, I can confidently say that we are working within the rule, within the books, within the ethics, and within the parameters that we are governed by Constitution and the laws that we have.
It's a program that has grown with a baby that we are calling the Faculty of Law. And for us, it's just to support as a university to make sure the faculty is properly established and they do their role in society as expected. And so Follow-Up is one of the projects. I would call it a quasi-research project where funding is given, a lot of work is done with the society, within society and in the communities to make sure legal aid gets there. It's also one of the fora where our students are also learning in terms of, it's just like a lab for lawyers, I think. And so this is a program that we really support, and we'll make sure it continues.
Elections actually give us an opportunity to talk about many things. Many times we are only talking about technology. You know, sometimes I wonder, why is it that we employ technology when we don't trust it? You know, people trust technology because they won't trust their next neighbor. But technology doesn't work without human intervention. So if you don't trust humans, unless then we have algorithms that run the elections, we all just go, our pictures are taken, maybe we take our irises, and then you say, I'm voting for X, and you walk away, and the machine tabulates. And even then, I can bet you there's somebody who will say, machines don't recognize people from area X, or they are biased about people who have a particular genetic makeup or particular height. So in essence, I think we need to see elections as a prism through which we discuss many things.
A few days later feel that the politicians elected are also able to take forward their wishes and concerns about their future.
I expect to learn more and hear what we're going to do about the program.
My favorite fruit is avocado, especially when it is chicken with food.
Have honestly asked very kind questions about ourselves and about democracy, and whether it amounts to justice as it is. Thank you very much.
I'm a PhD law scholar at the University of Delhi, and in fact, I came here a week, and then they don't have to go to campaign with a very heavy car, and in fact, people won't vote for you if you go there with a Mercedes Benz.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Moses Mutanga. I'm a law practitioner from Kenya. My expectation is to learn.
Students, these same things that you will tell here, we are definitely going to have a class next week on election. My favorite fruit, I didn't know the name of my favorite fruit until a few minutes ago. I have eaten, I think that is the best tasting fruit that I have tasted, and I like it.
The exotic tastes. And what was your fruit? Sorry. Bananas. Oh, so we have 3 bananas.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you.
5 pineapples. Give halves of your fruits.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is just people in Makueni County. I would just like to see through partnership, linkages and collaborations, how the rule of law can. We have plenty of mangoes in Ukambani, and it's also instructive to note that our offices are
expectation is to just learn from you. This is the best opportunity to interact with multiple stakeholders.
Yes, good morning everyone. My name is Grace Naiseran. I'm an advocate. I'm also, it's a critical role. It plays a very critical role in ensuring our political stability and adherence to the legal framework. So I'm looking forward to understand.
Hi everyone. I'm Noel Kamuke. I'm here with KMK Advocates. I'm also a student at NQ.
Favorite fruits are watermelon.
Watermelon from the pineapple.
I hope everyone. I will give my name. I'm an investment analyst and an advocate. I'm also a PhD student at the University of Nairobi School of Business. Amazing. Most of some of us know what to do. This called them in my mother tongue Nabi. Yeah, Nabi is just a small fruit. Firing well, anywhere you can get it on the road, on the forest, is always available.
I choose to yes.
Morning everyone.
Morning.
My name is Jenny Mwangi. I'm